The Wedding Present by Dan Boylan. Jack dropped heavily into the fireside chair and Jill lowered herself gently onto the sofa. He turned the TV on and picked up the paper. "I'm still amazed how you can read the paper and watch TV at the same time," she said with an edge of sarcasm. "It's called multitasking. I've been trained and conditioned by a series of ruthless bosses to perform numerous roles simultaneously," he quipped. "Like cooking and ironing, you mean?" "Oh no, I was never trained to cook, and ironing is simply not a man's natural task. That's why they invented ready-cooked meals and non-iron shirts," he replied smugly. "You have a knack of solving all the world's problems and predicaments, don't you?" she observed. He grinned smugly, and she asked, "Is it a talent that covers all known problems and complaints?" "Oh no," he retorted. "Venturing into the female mind is much beyond my ability. It's like skipping across stepping stones while carrying 2 buckets of water. To understand it is like understanding quantum physics, and trying to compete with it is like speaking quantum physics, but in Dutch." "Male logic is much more apparent then, is it?" she probed. "Beer, football, hunter-gatherer, sleep when you're tired, eat when you're hungry. It's all a simple philosophy, really," he quipped. "We just reduce all things to the least complex level. We unravel all the mysteries of life into its simplest forms and get on with it, whilst women have an urge to bring in loads of unrelated issues and turn a problem into fiasco." And he scrolled through TV channels one by one. "Why don't you just look at the TV guide to see what's on?" she sighed with an oft-used resignation. "Oh, this way is much more fun and quicker, which is why the remote control is the man's domain," he said. She knew she'd lost. His chauvinistic logic would smother her general approach every time. She picked up the wedding present list and began to read through the columns of gift her niece had issued, ignoring the commentary of the televised football match and the rustling of his newspaper. Her mind drifted in and out of the external politics, office politics and chit-chat, and the need to persuade Jack to redecorate the staircase, tidy the garden, plan the annual holiday, and the wedding present list. She raised an eyebrow at the extensive catalogue of gifts, which virtually amounted to an almost complete refurnish and refurbishment of Julie and Will's flat. She thought that the top-of-the-range Bang & Olufsen stereo system and the 36-inch flat-screen TV was a tad avaricious. "What's that you're reading, hon?" he asked. "It's Julie and Will's wedding present list." "Wedding present list? What's that all about then?" he inquired. "It's the latest thing the youngsters do," she said. "They issue a list of things they'd like as a wedding present and pass it around. You tick off an item and send it back. Saves them getting half a dozen toasters." "Good idea. But they've been living together in a fully furnished flat for just over 3 years. Just what exactly do they want?" "Well, looking at this, a complete new everything." "Shall I put us down for a dishwasher?" "Dishwasher?" he exclaimed with astonishment. "No, you can put us down for a toaster. When we got married, her parents bought her a set of steak knives," he protested. "It's different these days, Jack. Her parents will spent thousands on the wedding. She's their only daughter, my only niece. It'll be quite an expensive affair." "Toaster," he insisted. "We're not shelling out for a dishwasher for a pair of well-off newlyweds." There was a long pause as she examined her position. There were many issues and points to be considered, not least her fear of being branded a skinflint. She sighed. She knew it wasn't going to be an easy task, and in complete contrast to Jack's single-issue approach, she knew that there were several conditions, riders, and what-ifs attached to the wedding present list. She cringed and closed her eyes at the prospect of the social minefield that lay ahead. She'd always juggled a delicate balance between her own large family and Jack's Christmas card relationship with his distant family. She didn't share or enjoy Jill's family frequent socializing and togetherness. They were open and amiable. He was distant and reserved. She trod a fragile path to keep the two factions linked. The marriage of her sister's only daughter would be a great social event. It would be extravagant, expensive and high profile, and it would not appeal to Jack. She sat deep in thought as the soccer game progressed and slowly analysed the problem. 1. Persuade Jack to attend the wedding. 2. Persuade him to buy the dishwasher. Actually, there wasn't a 3, and on re-examination only number 2 posed any kind of obstacle. She tossed various ideas about and toyed with the idea of bribery, coercion and subterfuge. Then it came to her in a flash of brilliance. 2 presents. She would buy 2 presents. 1, a toaster from Jack and Jill, a long-standing family joke, and a dishwasher from John and Gillian. And she'd only let the immediate family in on the secret. Next problem then was to acquire a dishwasher. Another pause, and then another flash as she remembered that she had unclaimed office expenses. She checked her pocketbook, totted up the mileage claims, the out-of-office allowances and the occasional overtime to discover it totaled more than enough to buy a good quality dishwasher. She went over it again and again, reshaping and readjusting until she had devised a foolproof, streamlined version that was acceptable to everyone, even Jack. She was shaken from her reverie by the final whistle. He rose slowly from the chair. Rubbish, utter rubbish. They played like a bunch of schoolgirls, he announced. She smiled sweetly at him, and he looked at her with suspicion. Have you sorted that wedding present nonsense yet? He asked abruptly. Yep, and you were right, Jack. A toaster it is, she replied. Dear, oh dear, a dishwasher indeed. I wonder about you sometimes. It's a good job I keep a steady hand on the tiller and my feet firmly on the ground. Do you fancy a glass of plonk? Yes, I do, and I really do value your wisdom and your common sense. Now, be a love, turn the TV over to Channel 4 and I'll catch the last of the soap opera, she said with a smile.